Hey, this is Heart Healing Fairy, and I just woke up. It's super early. It's a beautiful day. And as I was waking up, my guides took me down this sort of pathway of information that I'm going to share. Sometimes, if you relax right when you're waking up, you will hear guidance. That is so profound, and it's almost like directional guidance from your guides when you're in that sort of in between waking up state. And I was getting some very quantum information coming through. And I've touched on some of it in some of my other videos, but I'm also feeling that something that Jesus understood, the things that the awakened beings from our planet really understood were sort of these universal laws and quantum principles that they were only able to express in a certain way based in the language that they had at the time to express it. And it was really sort of ironing out what I was talking about yesterday, and the sort of principles within quantum physics. And what they were showing me was that spontaneous healing, spontaneous physical healing, even. I've touched on this in a previous video about the word we would use as manifestation and how manifestation ends up happening through you, and where most people sort of get hung up is that they're trying to force and push actions out. But the way that flow energy starts to happen for you is when you've done the energetic work internally first. You can start down a path where you are trying to achieve certain things in your life, but your internal state isn't matching. It was almost like I said that one time at the end of one of my videos about somebody who was struggling with maybe like a physical illness or an ailment or something like that, where I said you could spend 5 minutes a day, like say you wake up and you listen to a healing frequency, like music or something, but then the rest of your day, that you're still focused on the illness or ailment in a negative way. In quantum physics, in quantum principles, you can be signaling, a lot of it is subconscious also, these sort of opposing signals. It's like what you're focusing on, that's where the energy is going. That's what you're signaling to the quantum field. And taking responsibility and accountability for every single thought, feeling, experience, circumstance, person that comes into your life is a reflection. That is what that's how quantum physics works. That's how the quantum field works, is that it is just an in real time, at all times, whatever is happening or occurring is the field reflecting back to you your internal state. So it's like they're showing me, like, you can cry and whine all you want about the things that are appearing in your world, but when you are taking accountability for your inner state, and you recognize that everything that is appearing, it's reflecting back to you something that exists in your internal state that you are signaling. This can be very difficult for people to wrap their conscious mind around. It's like what I was saying about you can say all of the positive affirmations you want all day, but that's just the surface of your consciousness. The core of you, it's like you think that you are traversing a 3D world instead of an energetic world. And once you recognize that there isn't anything separate and that it is literally all energetic responding to your internal state. I can give an example here. When I experienced PTSD 2 years ago, it was based in my son's near-death stroke experience. And then 2 years later, my stepdad, who I loved and was my Superman, had a stroke and passed away 2 weeks later. And the two contrasting experiences is what caused the PTSD, because my brain at the time of my son's experience sort of did this protective mode, because during that time I had to it was almost like a survival mode, and my life was flipped upside down, and all of a sudden I was responsible for doing all of this really intense work for him, to help him come through it. And then obviously having a special needs child and having to see all these different specialists and dealing with chronic kidney disease with him, and the amount of stress put on the system through that time started causing health concerns for me. So all of that sort of type of energy will really make your vessel sick. And what the awakened beings knew at a certain point was that it's all based in your internal core frequency. This is even attributed to deep patterns within your energetic field that could be compared to very deep, unhealthy habits, like mindsets, and how Jesus's healing ability was really understanding. It was like his energetic field and his frequency was so within his knowing and understanding of all of these principles, even though the way he expressed it and the words that he used were different. But it's the quantum physics principles, universal principles that he understood and experienced and witnessed. So it's like, even with myself, it's like some of these things can be a gradual shift, but I can say from my own personal experience that I'll have times where I think something is wrong with me because I dealt with certain health conditions for so long. And then I'll go to the doctor and it's like, but actually, your inner state has changed so much that those things end up disappearing out of your energetic field. But your conscious mind, it's like the conscious mind is always in disbelief. Once you can bypass the conscious mind, this sounds like fantasy, but this is how spontaneous healing actually happens. And I feel that Jesus's signal and inner knowing and frequency was so clear that he carried that ability to remove certain ailments from others.